Here we have a mid-20th century Persian Baluch, probably in the 1950 to 1970 range. The design is one that's very, very familiar to me. It's one that we see coming out of Khorasan back easily 100 to 120, 150 years ago. It's hard to tell exactly with Baluch rugs. Some people are far more adventurous in dating than I tend to be. Won't be very long, even though this rug is probably 40 or 50 years old, it won't be very long before in some shops would be antique. But enough about that. The border, we've got a traditional Baluch border. We see the 3 white flowers on the stem bracketing a small medallion, probably a floral device, and then on the inside we see a design that takes a different emphasis in different rugs. Here it's a minor border. In some other rugs we might see this as a main border, or a much more prominent border. As is typical of these, we've got an inner guard, an outer guard, and then we've got a supplementary guard running along here. That would be the supplementary guard. You know, actually I just made that up, but it sounds good and it describes it. Normally guard borders come in sets of 2, an inner and an outer, and then we have the main border. And then oftentimes, especially on Baluch rugs, tribal rugs, we end up with an outer border, which I'm going to call the supplementary guard. Anyway, the design is one that we see. It's actually nicely done. This is a good rendition of it. Now, as we see, the warps are cotton. When you see that bright white, it's generally cotton. When we're looking at pictures, oftentimes wool has a little bit of a yellow or tannish tinge to it. White comes through nice and clearly in pictures. Looking at the back, the handle is stiffer than we would expect in the antique ones, looser than we'd expect in the new ones. It's a matter of age. It's a mid-20th century, 40, 50 years old. Nice rug. Fairly simple sides, overwrapped, in the typical Persian overwrap selvages.